Hey guys, welcome to the table. I'm your host Josh Cameron, and I'm the host of Around the Table. That's in collaboration with District Studio and Capital Studio. Today we have a very special guest. We have Lutho, aka Amerachi. And yeah, it's so insane that we're doing this.
Yeah.
We've kind of known each other for quite a while now. And when we were going through like the guest list, it was like, I have to get on. So,
See.
for the people who don't know you, let's dive into a bit of who you are.
Okay. Hi. So I'm Luto and I am 21 years old. I am a fashion designer. Well, I'm graduating next week, which when
Wow.
this comes out, it would probably not be next week anyway.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm graduating from fashion school, which has honestly been
A journey.
a journey and a half.
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly think if I wasn't at fashion school, I don't think I would have genuinely learned this much about myself. But like, I feel like I would have learned about myself, but probably not in the way that I did
Yeah.
now. But yeah, graduating soon. To run it back a bit because I just jumped my life story a bit.
No, it's okay. We felt that.
I'm South African.
Mm.
My dad is Nigerian and my mom is Xhosa. And I was born and raised here in Cape Town.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Full on creative
Full-
in fashion. We love that. You're also award winning.
Oh,
And you didn't mention that.
so, okay. So the award that I did win at DAF was for the best collection on show, which was honestly insane.
Insane.
Like when I think about it now, like even the moment when it happened, I was sitting on the floor backstage with my friends. The fashion show was going on and they were calling awards. Now I had already felt quite blessed because I did have the opportunity to be part of the Global Graduate Fashion Show, just a fashion show that was organized by a group of people. And they last year they had it in what is this country? Mexico?
Yeah.
Mexico. Yes, they had it in Mexico. And they brought it to South Africa this year. And we had students from Italy, Paris, Kenya, Ghana, London, all over the world really. And they chose 3 students from South Africa, which was myself and 2 other students, one from Fadisa and one from Elizabeth Galloway.
Okay.
And we got to be part of this show and it was honestly incredible. We opened for SA Men's Fashion Week.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But that already was a blessing on its own because we didn't know any application for this. The soul just made a decision and it was like it chose me out of all of the incredible designers at my school. And yeah, it was honestly insane. So beyond that, I was like, nah, my year had already been made. I don't think there's anything else I could ask for.
Yeah.
And I remember they were doing like the award part of the show and I was sitting at the back with my legs crossed and cheering my friends on, just having a moment.
Yeah.
Like, wow, the fashion show is finally done. We've been working towards this the whole year, and now it's just done.
Yeah.
All our hard work. And they called me for the award and I was just like,
Me? Are you sure?
and I remember like I ran up and I was like stumbling. And I got there and then I just saw it was best collection on show. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
This is insane.
A milestone.
This is insane. A whole milestone.
Yeah.
So what a way to end off fashion school.
I can imagine. So let's kind of take it a bit back.
Yes.
You obviously a fashion student, you're graduating, you're also entering into your first big girly job. So fashion, how did it start? I mean, I already kind of know your story a little bit, but let's actually like get into it, because I feel like also when we did your interview for Ming League, it was more, there was a agenda behind it, which was your top 10 fashion trends, right?
Yeah.
So that's also why I felt like, okay, let me actually bring it on so that we can actually learn more about your story and your journey. So fashion, where did it start from for you? Like, how did it come about that you grew into that industry and are establishing yourself so well in the industry?
Oh, thank you so much for that. So cute. Well, my fashion journey, I think it's one of those things that is kind of in your life and you were born with it, but you don't fully understand. Like you don't fully like it's not something that you were running after all your life, but it's just been there. Um, I was really, really young and I stayed with my mom, but for some time I went to stay with my great grandma in Craddock for about a year. And this was when I was in grade 2. And I remember I had a bunch of Barbie dolls. My mom was like, I think it was more of her obsession than our obsession. Because, like, why do we have so many? I don't remember, like, asking for a Barbie doll. But I had them.
Which you had so much.
Yeah, and I had so much. And my great grandma, she had like this box and she'd keep all sorts of fabric scraps and just needles and just things. And this one day after school, I remember so vividly, I saw this box and it was so pretty. And I was like, oh, what is in there? She's like, oh, it's about time. She gave it to me and there was all these things.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me make clothes for my dolls. Because some reason they were also naked. Like they had no
I feel like that's always the case eventually.
Like, eventually, I don't know where their clothes went. Like they were just naked. And yeah, like I started making them clothes. And then I think that was the seed in a way. That was the seed and I didn't understand that at all. Like
Yeah.
till this day, it's only now when I'm realizing I was actually a seed. I kind of fell in love with doing that. And then more so growing up, I realized that, not realized, but like I didn't have much of what the other kids had, like all the latest clothes, sneakers, all of these things.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I don't have these things. So how do I work with what I do have? And then that's when I started cutting my clothes. And my mom used to say, you're cutting your clothes again. You're cutting your clothes again. I'm not buying you clothes anymore because you cut your clothes. And she started like, yeah, I know. She started to crash out. Like she started crashing out till this day. I think she fully understood it when I studied fashion. I remember when I got into fashion school, she was like, oh, that's
it makes sense.
big and stuff. But I used to cut all my clothes, and I had a needle that I bought by the by, and I just started like sewing whatever showed and making myself bags, just some random things, and through that, like became this skill, and I think that skill would have not happened if I didn't have, I feel like something I've realized while growing up is that sometimes a little bit of a sacrifice of joy pays off in a way. Because I feel like if I had all those things, I wasn't going to be pushed to make anything. I would have no reason to even make clothes for my Barbie doll because I could ask my mom like, yo, dog, I need some clothes some drip for my dolls, But it was like not having and that little bit of suffering that made me kind of not coincidentally into this place that could,
but it felt more like natural.
Yes, it felt so natural.
And just like from hearing from your story already, I already like can see the spiritualness behind it.
100.
Like how everything just fell into place, And I feel like there's also, like you say, there's a good part to also the sacrifice and like the almost not having, because you also learn how to be resourceful. And I feel like definitely in the fashion industry, you need to be resourceful and to make it happen, And I feel like also just hearing that, I'm finding relatability in your story because I'm like, it's the same with me. Like I didn't get everything handed, but it was definitely a spiritual aspect to it of just like finding my way and growing into spaces. And so I definitely love that. And especially when you said like that it's something you don't fully understand, but it's there.
Yeah, it's just there.
Like
100%.
definitely, I feel like that happens with a lot of creatives, where it's just like you don't fully understand.
You'll wake up, you're like,
Yeah,
I'm a creator.
and that's literally what you were speaking about. It's also just like I didn't wake up and just realize that this is what I wanted to do. Like it's a build. So it's kind of beautiful to see that, and then also to see where it landed.
Yeah,
You know, now you are doing fashion shows, you have your own collection, which I definitely want to tap into, because I mean, the minute I saw that, I was excited for you. I was like, this is crazy.
Thank you so much.
And yeah, I definitely want to tap into that. But like I said, you have your collection, you have your awards, and you know, you're still building yourself, building your experience. But with the experience, like, how has it been studying fashion? You know, because obviously you said like it started from when you were young, you didn't fully understand the concept. So how is the transition been to now actually learning the concept? You know, and actually being in in an environment that stimulates further growth and further credibility,
Yeah.
you know, in that from what just bloomed naturally for you.
Yeah. So, your like even the journey of fashion school, like how it happened, was also just a bit of a it is. I have African parents. My mom, she's more on the chill side, but my dad is fully Nigerian. Nah. And I don't know how to explain how healing being in fashion school has been. I think like even how I got into fashion school, like if I give you a little bit of a backstory, like just a short backstory.
Yeah. No.
I was meant to study law at UCT, and I got in for law at UCT, but there was no joy in that. And my dad was constantly like, "You are gonna go study law." I don't know why law specifically. I don't.
It's funny because same here, like I was also supposed to
Yes,
go into law.
I don't know what is the obsession with law. Like I don't know, but he told me like you're gonna go study law, and I said, right.
Right.
And I got into UCT for law, and this was like December, no, like before December, when I'd gotten like, oh, cool, no, a provisionary admittance. And then I was like, okay, great. We'll see where this goes. And then during December, I was like, okay, it was my time where I was really on my own. December 2022, that was my matric year.
Okay.
And I was walking around and I stumbled across the Biscuit Mall and I saw this Design Academy of Fashion. And I was just like, yeah, I want to go to this place. And immediately I got into the place and I was just trying to look around. And for some weird reason, I'd never heard of fashion school before that.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of fashion.
Yeah.
It was just, okay, fashion designers become fashion designers.
Yeah, like I genuinely, sorry, I want to comment on that because I feel like it's the same thing with me. Like I actually didn't even know like
you could study that.
You could study that. Like I thought it's just something, okay, like you just become a designer, like people recognize you. And then when I actually started hearing of like DAF and the other fashion institutes in Cape Town, I was like, oh, people, you need to study
Oh,
this.
there's like qualification.
Yeah, like
It's
actually
it's honestly insane. And if there was one thing that I can so vividly remember about the moment when I stepped into the place was incense. Like there was like this, I don't know why it's such a vivid like thing, but memory, but I just got in there and they had like incense and it smelled so good. And it was like such a home environment. And I think from that moment I felt so much comfort.
Yeah.
I felt so comfortable. I was there. The woman who was at the reception, she greeted me and it was amazing. She was like, oh, can I give you a tour? And I was like, oh, I'm not here for it. And she's like, no, let me give you a tour. And I said, okay, cool. She gave me a tour. She gave me a brochure. She gave me a tote bag. I was like, oh, okay, please.
Freeways. We love
what
the
it is.
university tote bags.
We love that. And I didn't know that I was gay on the orientation day.
Oh,
I didn't know that it was orientation day, but they were like,
lazy.
not orientation day, so open day.
Open day, yeah.
Yeah. And I went in there and I was like, okay, cool. I kid you not, when I left there, I was like, how do I become a part of this? Like, forget the fact that it's a fashion school, just the atmosphere and like where I am right now, I feel so comfortable. I feel so calm. I feel, maybe it was the incense. I don't know, but it's something.
Something was drawing you.
Something was like, yeah, you must be there.
You must be there, yeah.
And I just could not be a part of that. And I remember I went home, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I did my research on the school. Fast forward, January comes, that's crunch time. I'm sitting here with UCT, said yes, law.
Yeah.
And I'm not about to do that. I didn't tell my parents. I got the same thing. I wasn't like, oh, mommy, like, look.
Yeah, like.
No, immediately when I got it, I was like, okay, now sit and think. And I kid you not, it wasn't even a thought in my head that I was going to do that. Like instantly, I already knew I'm not going to do that. Fast forward, it was time I applied to DAF and I did the whole application process. Then I had to pay an application fee. I'm in grade 12. I got no money.
Yeah.
Money. Like that time, pocket money wasn't talking as much.
Yeah, it was very quiet.
It was very
The
quiet.
flies were like
It was those
coming
flies,
out
it was
of the
very
pockets.
bad. It was very, very bad. Like, but I was like, you know what? I need to figure out how I'm going to get the 700 rand for application.
Sure.
I was like, I need to figure out. And I don't have a big family. I really don't have a big family. It's my mom, my sisters, my brother, and then my grandma and my mom's sister. So it's like a
It's very intimate, yeah.
very intimate. And I was like, how am I going to get this money? I kid you not. I asked every single person I knew besides my mom and my dad. And I was like, guys, I will give it back to you. I had to put all pride aside.
Yeah.
I had to put any little pride that I had
Sure.
out. I had to throw it in the bin. And I was like, I'm going to fight for this.
Yeah.
I applied. I got in. Okay, amazing. Now, you're talking about registration fee. That is beyond me now. That's 3K. That is beyond. That is beyond me. There's only so much I can do. There's only so much I can do now. And I'm like, okay, time. It's time to call the dad. It's time to let my mom know. I mean, dad doesn't stay with us. So I was like, okay, now I have to like speak. Yes, and I had the conversation and he was not having it. He was not having it. Fast forward, he gave in. I still haven't told him about UCT.
Oh.
We only actually found out about that last year.
Oh.
So, yeah, we only found out about that last year.
Wow.
Not gonna how that went. But yeah, like I got in and now I'm in fashion school and I kid you not, the most healing, most organic thing. I feel like it just makes me realize how organic creativity is. It's like it's a whole seed. And then before you know it, when it's planted in good soil, it just grows. And I remember I had this point where I was just like comparing myself to these people because some of these people are like designers and some people have experience. Some people like they're good. They're good. And then I was like, wait, why am I comparing myself when I'm here for my own reasons and I'm here to learn?
Yeah.
And they taught me everything I needed to know.
Sure.
Daph, this is not a promo, but yeah, no, it was
But
the drugs.
yeah.
But yeah, it was honestly so healing. Found my people.
Sure.
Grew with my people. And ultimately, I think when I was sitting in first year, I was like, what am I gonna, like, I know I'm gonna learn something, but am I gonna find who I am as a designer? Because all I know is Pinterest, then I don't know, like, do I even have a voice in fashion? Like, let's start there. Do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah.
And then I kid you not, as I started to learn, the more people I started to speak to beyond, high school people.
Yeah.
High school was great, but like now I'm speaking to adults and I'm learning from these people. I'm having conversations. I'm asking questions. It was such an environment where I can learn beyond the school as well. Now I'm a big girl, so I'm talking to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now we're talking, having conversations, and from that, even the people that were not Christians, I learned so much about my faith from.
Yeah.
And it just like began to build. Now it was so full circle, and I realized in that moment, there's just like this realization moment where I was like, oh wow, wait, God did actually. Like He did. And it was like one of those things that I had to live by my entire full circle fashion school career, was that He took me from me being a baby, completely not knowing what's happening, me applying for this thing. And it was like, okay, He took my hand. He took me to the next step. And from the next step, He took me to the next step. And He did kept on carrying me till now. I'm like, how did that
How did
happen?
that
You know what I
happen?
mean? Because like fashion school is pricey. I don't even know how I got through fashion school.
Yeah.
Um, like even the whole situation of how I even was able to still get through studying was honestly insane.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, I relate to your story so much, which is why I'm also just it's like sitting in so much awe of you right now, and just like you explaining your story, because it's like I find so much relatability to your journey, man. You know, and just of like, especially when you said God did, and just like how He took you, and it just like something that hit me was like, you know, God already wrote our story for us.
100%.
So it's definitely just Him also carrying us through that and walking us through that, and just hearing your story, how spiritually things opened up for you, how doors opened up for you, you know, and I definitely get to see the role that God played in your life as well, you know, as part of your creativity, because I mean, God is the ultimate creative, you know, and
100%.
yeah,
100%.
and so for you to like explore that creativity and have, you know, your life centered around faith, you know, and that blending together, so beautiful to see, because it's definitely like, again, relatable for me, how the same way with me studying right now, it was such a spiritual thing. I was thinking when you were busy explaining about like the fragrance of walking, and just the same thing happened with me. Like I walked in to the university building, you know, when I was on the campus
When
tour.
was this? What year was this?
This was literally this year.
Okay.
Like, no, sorry, it was December last year. So December last year, I had my like campus tour, and the minute I stepped in there and just like heard everything and like saw the space, I was like, this is my home.
Yeah.
You know, in that
That is.
instant. And that's also when you know that your creative journey, you know, and even just that of it not being, you not being fully aware of it, but you also just knowing that it's your calling.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
absolutely love that. And again, how faith played a part into that, and also how you're carrying that into now with your brand, with your collection Heaven. And like I said, when I saw that, I was just like, she's actually doing something so cool. Especially in the quality of your production, the network that you've built. I mean, even you said like you've been speaking to people and, you know, asking the right questions and getting the right information, building the network. And you see that evident in the production, in the quality of your work, but then also just the marketing, the social media. So I'm definitely interested in hearing like that process. Like, because my question is, or like the question I've been having was like, did this start from an assignment, like a little project thing that you had to do, or was it genuinely like just something that got birthed out of you?
Well, so in fashion school, obviously, like first year we work on like our basics. We work on first term is how to make a skirt, second term how to make a shirt, third term how to make pants, and then fourth term a dress.
Okay.
And then second year is we given like a task. Like second year is menswear, athleisure, avant-garde, and then something else. I forgot. But we have all of these things. Then now you're entering third year and you're like, it's all you. Like
Wow.
now you need to birth something as a designer. And I kid you not, I could think of nothing more than using all of this that I've been given now to glorify God. Like it was a no-brainer. It was one of those things, it's like, I don't even know how I got here, but now I more than owe it to you to give it. Like he has everything. He doesn't need anything there's nothing I could ever give him that would be enough. But like the least that I could do was to say like I have to give it to you. And even the name, like Heaven, was just like where I think I would like to live. I don't want to die like right now. That's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm trying to say is like the essence of it. And I think through and through, it's just been an essence that has been carried out throughout my entire fashion journey. And like, the name just happened to be that. And I was like, okay, this is what's happening now. And I remember the collection name is Fruits of the Spirit. And I remember while I was planning my collection, it was such a, like, I thought about it, what I want my collection to be, to look like throughout fashion school. I was always been like, okay, maybe this and that, maybe this. And I had an idea of what I wanted. But the name of the collection has always been something that I struggled with. And like, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, it was such a story. It's such a story to tell how Fruits of the Spirit came to be. And it was at a time when I think I'd become cocky. It was like, okay, now I'm in fashion school. And I was like, okay, now I'm in cool. It's time for a graduate collection. Yes, your branding is heaven, but now you're going to make this about you. And it was just like, okay, yeah, God, I did this. I gave it like the name of the brand to you, but like now it's about me. It's my time to shine. And I remember it was such a humbling moment, that moment when I started to make it about myself. I started to make this collection about myself and named it after me. And my second name is Angel, so Amerachi is my name. So everyone in my family kind of gave me a name, and that's a long thing. But Angel is my second name. I was like, okay, let me make this about myself. And I tried. I failed miserably. I remember so vividly, there was a time where we had to like explain a concept to one of our lectures. We were doing like our checkups, and fashion school, at least where I studied, it's so intimate. It's so intimate. So they constantly checking on you, like what's going on. I had to present to her like where my mind is at. And I kid you not, all the waffle I waffled that. Like, I had nothing to say. Like, I had no substance. Like, everything I said was pure. There's no substance. It was just there. There's nothing. And I remember I went home that night and I was like, like, what is wrong? Like, what is wrong? Like, what am I doing? Like, I've been waiting for so long for this moment to actually show my own, what comes from my heart without an assignment and a rubric. It's fully me. Like, what now? And oh my goodness, like, I kid you not, I just went into a bit of like prayer and started reading. And that was when I came across Galatians 5 verse 22. And it was speaking about the fruits of the Spirit. And it read, but the fruits of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, and faithfulness. And then it was just me like lingering around that. It's just sitting there. And and it was just there. And I was like, wait, flow state. And then I don't know, for some reason it hit me and I was like, okay, this is what I want to live by. And maybe this is God telling me, like, giving me direction. And like, it was one of those things, like, I made it all about me, but now this is my opportunity and I can hear his voice so vividly. And it's this, the fruits of the Spirit. And I don't know if you remember, but I spoke a lot throughout this podcast about a seed that growing. And this was my fruit now. And they were fully ready. It was in my last year. The fruit are ripe. Just everything is ready.
Everything is ready.
And now it's like, okay, it just again felt like such a full circle moment. And that's where it came from. And then from that, the previous year, we got to work with Mohe South Africa. And myself and 5 other students in my class, I think 4 or 5 students in my class, we got selected to work on this project with FIT, which is the Fashion Institution of Technology in New York. And they came over to South Africa, and like 4 of us were working with some of them. And we worked on this big tapestry project with Mohe South Africa and Francis VH Studios, who's an amazing textile and weaving artist. And we worked on tapestries that would be displayed at FIT NYC. And this was my second year working on that incredible project. And we also worked with Mohe for our conceptual designs. And I kid you not, I just fell in love with the fiber so much. And when I was thinking about what I'd want my collection to be like, I instantly thought Mohe. And then I was fortunate enough that Mohair South Africa was still sponsoring, and they were like they sponsored. Shout out to my lecturer Leandy, who genuinely helped me through that journey, and she got me everything I needed, the materials I needed, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do with my hands. And this collection, I'd never said, okay, this is gonna be a sustainable collection. Like it was all of those days, just like it just happened to be when it was done. I started like working with a bit of linen and flowers and kind of thinking, how can I dye things using flowers? And I actually dyed this using flowers. The color is quite fading a bit now because I didn't use a certain kind of mortar to hold the thingy, but it's like an essence of it here and there. And I got to work with natural fibers, and I got to speak to people, and I got to learn the craft of using a knitting machine, and had people like teach me that. Like we had a woman, what's her name? Please cut that. I've forgotten. She was one of the people who helped us like with knitting and using knitting machines. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be my collection. Something intimate, and every single part of the process was so intimate. From picking the flowers, that was intimate on its own, going to different places where I felt like, okay, I could reach flow state here. And I think I was probably like the only student in my class who was so under like prepared in certain things, in terms of my process of working was so backwards. Like I started first with just creating textiles, and then it came to designing. Then I was like, okay, this is the looks that I wanted. It was so weird. Like everyone else was like, okay, they had the looks, they drew them out, and now it's time for pattern making, and as for sewing, and it's the final product. Then for me, it was just like
the other way around.
other way. It's so all over the place. But like, I remember there was not a single time where I felt drained. Like every single part of the process was so intimate. It was so beautiful.
Fulfilling.
So fulfilling. And the pieces are not extravagantic or like crazy, but they are made in such a full and warm heart posture in a way. And yeah, like no, Fruits of the Sweat has been nothing short of a joy to create. And I really hope that one day when I do create another collection, which hopefully I do this year, I pray that I have like time to do that. I'm working on that as well. But I just hope that every process and everything that I do will flow from that exact same heart posture. Because I don't want it to be just a season or like a momentary kind of thing. And I remember at the beginning of this year, I was like, okay, like Fruits of the Spirit season is done. Like we're closed now. Like amazing, we've done that. And these are the last few posts you'll ever see of Fruits of the Spirit. Cool. So I think everyone's tired now. See,
No, we can never be tired. Like,
then, oh my goodness. And like I was like, no, that all happened. And then I realized how it started bleeding through this year. And like people would like want to sew certain pieces, and like I'd want to use them for certain styling. And I was like, wait, this is such a sustainable substance. Like it's here, and I don't think it's actually going anywhere because it was made with such a sustainable heart posture. And I think things that were made sustainably, not only just like with your materials, like something that is made sustainable with like your heart posture, your hands, the process, the time that you took to make it will always last. Like it will always last. It doesn't always have to be about using natural fibers. It's just like I truly think sustainability can come from even your emotions. So
I actually love that a lot because obviously I'm not in the fashion industry. I'm learning quite a bit from you in this conversation. I try my best. I think I'm more of that Pinterest mood board guy.
Pinterest is our guy.
No, really.
Pinterest is our guy.
But like even just what you're saying about the heart posture, and like that with whatever you start, where it stems from, and taking back to your word, the seed as well, that in your heart, and everything that flows out of that, it really does determine the success or the loss of whatever is going to be birthed or is birthed out of you already. You know, that's such an important thing because I even look at myself and the things that I've done and also just the exact same things where sometimes it did get to my head. And then I had to take a step back and actually be like, okay, but you know, it's not me that actually did this. It was God that's been opening all of these doors, that's been planting the thoughts, that's been giving me the ideas and direction, you know, into who to speak to, who to go to, who to network with.
Yeah.
And then even just the simplicity of asking,
Yeah, 100.
you know, like asking, building your network. And I feel like it's such a big part of the creative process is that you can't do it alone. You yourself, and I feel like you need a creative community around you. Even in fashion, I'm sure it's the same thing. You know,
100%.
so obviously, like with me, with Minleak, with the podcast, with everything, like I totally realized that if we want quality, if we want, you know, just something beautiful to come out of it, you need to have a team and a team that, or not even a team, but a network, a community that supports you, that grows with you, that pushes you even, you know? And that's why, like, even for me, being in university, I'm only like 3 weeks in, and there's quite a bit that I've learned from the other students in my class. And I mean, this is the first course or we are the first students for this course that Reading Yellow is offering. And so everybody's just coming in there, like learning, flowing, schedules and timetables are changing to adjust to everybody. But it's even just like what I'm learning from everyone else is just so incredible because I thought that no, I'm going in here. I've learned so much by my gap year and doing my own thing and then just going into space, seeing other people's perspectives, seeing their take on things. And I'm sure it must have been the same for you, especially with the Heaven Collection and Fruits of the Spirit, you know? Like you can definitely see where it came from, that it stemmed from the heart. I mean, even just the storytelling alone behind each piece and the collection itself. It's so beautiful because I mean I read through quite a bit of the post and just the creative storytelling. And I was like, this is wholesome. You know, it's not, and I mean, maybe you can correct me, but I wouldn't say it's performative.
I really tried to stay away from it being
Yeah.
whatever. I tried to like have it exactly. I mean, a little bit of that in me.
Mm.
I don't know.
Like,
Maybe it's a video.
yeah, like the strategic part of your productions and all of those things, obviously, there's, but
fully.
yeah. And I mean, that's so beautiful to see from my end, especially when it comes to the creative industry. I love seeing that. I love seeing the creative concepts that people come up with, and especially with you. I mean, like I said, I've had my eye like just on your socials for quite a while before we got into the main league interview that we had with us. And also because a good friend of mine that I grew up with in church, she's also like very much into fashion. And like that's also kind of where I got my interest a little bit because she was like my big sister basically at that time. Like we were like very close. It's still now. Like I consider her someone who played a very big part in shaping me, especially with creatively. Like I've always looked up to her, and when it came to fashion and just like what she did, and like it kind of transitioned into me becoming more aware of other people like yourself.
Wow.
You know that is into fashion, and it also made me watch. I mean, I think I told this story to a few people of just me like sitting right in front of the TV like watching fashion shows.
Oh yeah.
You know, like I feel like that you might have done the same thing. Like you're just sitting and you're watching and you're studying. How did they do this? What's the set like? What's the collections like? But something, and the reason why Heaven like definitely caught my attention was because of the wholesomeness, but and also because it was not performative. You know, it was genuinely just stemming from your heart. You could pick it up. You know that it's an organic feel. And then just the collection itself, it was so beautiful. The storytelling behind it, the production quality. I think you were working with audio as well.
Yeah, I know that's my boy.
Yeah.
Like even how he created the video, it's
Yeah.
so insane how I was just like my friend, he knows how to do videography.
Yeah.
I was already so stressed about who's going to do the videography about it. But I was like, I have community.
Yes. Yes, someone.
Someone. And that was when he was like starting to fully lock in with his passion and
Yeah.
like what he's so good at doing. And I remember it was a night after church and I called him. I was like, Oi, please shoot my video for me. Please. He was like, okay. And then
And literally.
I was like, is that it? Yeah, was that you asked me? Hell yeah, sure, still sure. I was like, okay, cool, cool, cool. But then like in that, I was also like, oh, Ori has his essence. He has his like this he
has his style.
he has his style. And I was like, okay, I'm excited to see how this is gonna work together. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, just trust.
Yeah.
And I remember the shooting day had all my people, all the girls. I had a makeup artist, Kaylee, she's so cool.
Yeah.
From church as well. She helped me.
Yeah.
My friend Tamsin, like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Even some of the girls, I kid you not, all the models that were part of my video were not just people that I was like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. Like, let me just take a picture. I feel like it's people who I've seen, and again, to make this whole process so wholesome, people who I've seen and I've seen their energy is just something so
Wholesome.
so different. I remember seeing Anna. Anna's one of the girls in my video.
Yeah.
And every time I'd see her stories and every time I'd like walk past her, she had like this joy. It is so overwhelming, like her smile. I didn't even know this girl from afar, but but I know every time I see her, she's just so radiant. And then I remember Kendall, who is now my friend, but at the time she wasn't my friend. I just had met her once and she was so majestic and she was just like a living fairy and she was so beautiful. And my friend Shine, who had this energy as well, she was so beautiful inside and out. Another person was Wema, and Wema, she is such a like she's so what's this word now? How would you describe Ekabadu? Very magical. Like she's so majestic. She has so there's this essence about her. She's the Kenyan goat. And I also weren't friends. I just every time I see her, just this energy.
Yeah.
I'm not missing anyone. I'm not. Yeah, them. And I was like, okay, I'm building this team with these people who I don't just see them because of how amazingly gorgeous they are, but like this essence and this aura that they like they just have so much. Or every time I see them, I was like, I want them to be a part of this. So then I reached out, Ori came through. My friend Joe was there, helped fit. And it was like, okay, let's rock. Now let's do this. And I remember Ori's like, yeah, I get your vision, overly saturated vibe. It's like, I was like, yeah, I want some color, but
not too much.
overly saturated. And I already felt in my head Ori was gonna do some saturated stuff, but it was gonna be cool as well. And then I kid you not, we shot the video. The process was amazing. It was hot day. It was 30 degrees.
Sure.
We were shooting back and forth from Biscuitmore to Ardeen. Is it Ardeen Gardens? We were just all over the place.
Yeah.
And it was hot. And they were wearing these mohair garments. It was a lot. And I kid you not, we shot. It was amazing. And then a few days after, now Ori is busy editing. I was on campus till I went to school on a Sunday because at our school we sometimes allowed to like lend the keys, and I was there from Sunday till the Monday at 1 p.m.
Sure.
That's when I left. So I was like working overtime with my friends. Some of them were working, and Ori came through on Sunday night. He was like, "Okay, I'm editing. I'm just passing by, but I'm gonna sit and edit for some time." And then I was like, "Okay," and he said, "I have an idea." Because we have a bunch of clips, so there's not really much of a storyline. Like, we have these girls doing this and this and this and this and that, but like, I have an idea. It's like, okay, talk to me. And he's like, you're gonna sleep. Like, while you're working right now, just be exactly how you are and continue working, doing your knitting and stuff. And we're gonna make this like a dream. And I was like, explain more. It's like, yeah, you're gonna fall asleep. You're gonna be doing what you're doing. You're gonna fall asleep, and then someone's gonna come, wake you up, and then that's all I need you to do.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, cool. my friend Ashley, who worked next door, she came in to check up on me. Where was like, yeah, you're gonna be in the video.
Yeah.
And then that happened. We shot that, and then when the video came out, Ori sent the video to me at night, not that same night, but like 3 days after. And I remember I just cried because I was like, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't know how many times, like, you, like, a videographer, you give a videographer your vision, but then for them to create a story out of it,
Sure.
and they understood fully that this is something that you would like, and like, they
It was what
Yeah.
you wanted at. Yeah.
It was ultimately something so beautiful. It ended up me being like sleeping and having a dream about this collection that I was about to create. And it was with my favorite songs.
Sure.
And the whole year throughout my creative process, I listened to music, like fully listened to music that made me feel some kind of way. And the one song was Love Me Not For Even Lene. That song, that's like has my heart.
Yeah.
And he was like, song is not kind of going with the video. It's like, but or it was like, okay, I have an idea. And then he mixed Saturn and Love Me Not, and he mashed them up together, and he created this insane, insane video.
Sure.
And till this day, I'm just like still in awe, because it's like, that was the part I was most excited about throughout everything. And it just came into fruition so well. But yeah, that was
Yeah. I just think even from like watching that video alone, I feel like everybody must have been blown away. I feel like that must have also, I speak under a lot of correction, but I feel like that also is what also like took you guys to a different level also. Like that was the establishing of what is now going to come.
Yeah.
And even just the storytelling of like, you know, this is a team of what's about to come. And then like, I see the strategy there and I absolutely love that. But even just like I said, I've been keeping my eye on the socials and like just been following it and seeing what got birthed out of that also for everyone else creatively. It was so beautiful to see, you know, like just for you with that awards, with heaven, like everything just came together. And then actually hearing your story, like I'm even just like, yeah, this is God.
Yeah,
This is God.
100%.
But also you in the same sense because of your commitment to it. You know, I love the fact that you committed to it. To like even like you said, and I'm sure that industry is like very fast paced. You need to like deadlines and all of those things. Like it must be very hectic. But the fact that you committed, you dedicated it to God and you entrusted the entire process, being resourceful, I feel like that is just so raw, so true, so beautiful. And even just like, okay, and I find so much relatability in that because it's the same. And I feel like it's for a lot of creatives out there. It's about just trusting God, trusting that things will happen for you spiritually, you know, that it will, if it's meant for you, it's meant for you.
It's meant for you. It's meant for you.
You know, like you'll find your place eventually. And I feel like for the young people as well, you know, those that are in high school feeling lost, I was definitely one of them. Being like, ish, guys, I don't know what to do. That's why I said like low is that option, but still also not feeling it right. But then, you know, it's just trusting that it works out. And although I'm also not where I want to be yet, but just the growth, the beauty of growing also. I feel like that's also so relatable to heaven because it's like
100%.
part of growing. It's part of, you know, fruitfulness, what comes out of dedication, out of being committed. And I kind of also just like to know what that was like for you during like the process of creating heaven, but also the journey of university, you know, like that process of staying committed, that process of staying, because especially for me, like I can learn quite a bit since you are literally graduating very soon and I'm just stepping into university life. It's like, you know, it gets, I feel like already right now, 3 weeks in, I'm a bit overwhelmed, still enjoying the process, but it gets overwhelmed. But what was your process like? Like what actually helped you besides doing something that you love?
Mm.
what helped you stay grounded, that helped you, you know, continue the studying and then continue the application to it, and continue staying committed to what God has opened up for you? Because I feel like also, before you answer the question, I want to make this point. I feel like also, especially with like in Christianity and with Christians, sometimes a lot of doors get opened for us, but then it's also like sometimes we don't actually take that door full on, and appreciate it. I feel like, especially with like high school, like we dreaded going into that space.
Yeah.
I feel like
I was
everyone dreaded heading, but then we're also not realizing how that is a stepping stone for us to
100%.
go into to university and to do the things that we're doing, and to build a life for ourselves. So I feel like definitely with Christians, we do struggle to stay committed, to even just stay in a place of gratitude.
Yeah.
And even just seeing your energy right now, I see how much gratitude you have for that process. But obviously, well, not obviously, but I'd like to know about the commitment process, about that process of just staying dedicated, and constantly reminding yourself that, hey, there's a bigger picture than just me getting a degree, but there's also impact that you can have. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. So obviously God, first of all,
Yeah.
but I think with that comes, I think at least one thing that got me through the entire thing was optimism. And like, just, you said gratitude, and ultimately gratitude, and being so grateful for being in the position where you get the opportunity to even do what you're doing. You know what I mean? Being carried, like, not even, you don't even have to walk, you're being carried from point A to B. That on its own is like such a blessing. And just fully, like, I remember someone once said to me, and till this day, it just lives in my head all the time, because I'm just like, really? This one girl said to me at school, like, it was a crazy time, like such a crazy time, like submissions, everyone was submit, and
Sure.
Fresh going submitting, it's hectic. Because now it's not like everyone is like writing or typing. The sewing machines are going off. It's like
yeah.
it's like a sweat shop.
It's
People are running, people are sewing, people are ironing, people are steaming. Like, it's physical. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's not you just type.
It's just like being
Like,
quiet
can
office.
be,
Like,
but no, it's a switch of the garment lab is popping off. Like, it's crazy. And she said to me, do you see what is happening here? I said, yeah, I can see what's happening. And she's like, why is it like you're walking on a cloud? Like, where do you think you are? Like, you are walking on a cloud and you are so calm, and you are here, this is fairyland. Like, what is going on? Like, do you not have a submission? Like, yeah, I have a submission and I need to submit it in 5 minutes. And she's like, yeah, so why are you like, I was like, I'm gonna do, like, I have my game plan. I know exactly what I'm gonna submit. I know exactly what I have to do in this 5 minutes left.
yeah.
I know how to manage my time right now. Clearly, I can't manage my time because I waited till the last minute. That already is established. But in this deadline, I know how to manage my time.
Yeah.
But most of all, it's the fact that I am happy to be here, and I'm not going to let any circumstance rob the joy of me being there. Like, I won't lie, it wasn't every day where I was happy. It wasn't every day where it was sunshine and rain.
Yeah.
It's like, it wasn't every day that everything was great. But it's just like, this is such a short time. 3 years is such a short time.
Yeah.
And being in a place and even letting a single day rob my joy, even an hour, is so, it can't happen. Like, it really can't happen. And the few times that it did happen, it would be like, okay, allow yourself to feel these things, because it's so important to feel these things. Like, growing up, like, to go completely off track. I remember one of my pastors was pregnant, and I remember she said something about how she always spoke about how she loves how her body is transforming. And a lot of the times, I mean, some women would be very insecure about their bodies and they're going through that, or like they'd be so self-conscious, but she took it in such a beautiful light. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love seeing how my body is morphing and transforming and I'm forming something inside of me. And like, it's painful, but like I'm so obsessed with how I look like right now. I'm so obsessed with how I feel. I'm so blessed that I get to feel these things. And it wasn't easy for her. But then I remember that and I took it into my life and I was like, how blessed I am to be in these messy situations in such a beautiful time. Because when she's pregnant, she's bringing life. And I'm here and I'm so blessed to be in what I'm doing. And at the end of it all, there's this massive rainbow and pot of gold or whatever. But like, how blessed that I get to experience and be in this. Like, that can be in anything, like all sorts of education. Like, how blessed you get the opportunity to learn. How blessed are you that you get the opportunity to even meet people? You go, you step outside. And on the topic of people, I don't think I could have done it if it wasn't for the people that were around me as well. Like, I'm not talking about necessarily like building bridges, but like conversation. And like in the fashion world, there are a lot of people who are not believers. So many people who are not believers, but it was so insane how I learned so much of my faith through them. And there was one time when one of my friends clocked me and I said like, yo, you're a better Christian than I am in this very moment. And it was like, now I like, it's such a shift because now it's like, these people, I'm not surrounded by Christians who are there to hold me accountable, but rather more so that it's people who are non-believers. Actually, last week, somebody said something so profound. It was like, they were in this room and whenever they'd say something, people would be like, aren't you a Christian? You're not supposed to say stuff like that. And we're like, oh, yeah, actually, thank you for that. And it was like, people, when they see you, they're like, they expect to see that, you're such a reflection of Jesus. But then that doesn't mean performance or being performative about it. It's completely being organic and being yourself. But being so open to hearing when someone tells you your identity, because sometimes those people tell me my identity. I could even clock it and I'm just like, yes, that. And not even in a performative way of like, oh, I forgot to put my mask on now. It's like more so in a way of like, thank you for reminding you who I am in such a moment where I started getting taken away or carried away by the things of this world. And it was so, so, so beautiful to like have people who would not only do that, but like also not ask you, oh, you're a Christian girly. Like, those like in high school, you cannot be good in movies. Like, in those places, like because like in high school, I feel like if you were lucky enough to enter high school as a believer, then amazing. But when you wake up one day and you decide, you know what, I'm a Christian, and you walk into school and everyone's like, we know you. Get out of our faces with all that. We know you. Like, when you get the opportunity to like fully live that out, it's just like, okay, I know I don't have to be so perfect, but like, wow, how blessed that I have people who know who I am as well. Like, I know I'm trying to know who I am, but like every time I seem to forget who I am, you remind me, and it's not in a way where it's like
condescending.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact word I was looking for. I told you English. And they can remind you of that. So yeah, fully that. And I think maybe another thing would be like believing in yourself fully. Like, you were born into this world on your own and you really need to believe in yourself. Like, someone also once said to me that like you are not your thoughts. Like, sometimes you just be sitting like this and you just start to think of like
Everything.
a random thing. Like, something random would come into your head and you're like, wait, I didn't think that on my own. Like, I didn't sit here and was like, sorry, I didn't sit here and I was like, let me think about that thing. It just popped up. And instantly that's when I realized, wait, I actually am not my thoughts. Like, they just have a mind of their own. They just do whatever they want. So that means I can cancel them out if I want to. Like, I'm not thinking about that. So yeah, like fully having confidence in yourself and like rooting yourself, because not everyone is gonna be like, oh my gosh, Josh, you're doing so amazing. Like, you need to be that for yourself. And also, we're left with such a book of love letters that is there to remind us as well of who we are.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's honestly so beautiful. And I love that you even started that advice with optimism. I feel like that's such a big part of it because we'd sometimes step into the spaces that are meant to be blessings for us with negative your thoughts and emotions towards it being like even today, I will be honest about it. Today, I went into school and I was like, oh, I'm feeling so drained. I'm feeling so tired. Like, and then my chest was hurting on top of that, and everything was just going wrong. But then, like, you just telling me, like, optimism, like, go in there being like, how blessed am I to even walk into the space that I prayed for.
Yeah, the space that you prayed for.
The space that I prayed for. How grateful am I to wake up to even go to university, knowing that that opportunity isn't afforded to everybody, you know? So that optimism, and I love that analogy of like embracing growth and embracing change and embracing the journey of it, you know, like with your what your pastor said in the analogy that she made, like just having a different perspective on it, you know, looking at it being like, we're going through this, and yes, there's pain, yes, there's struggles, but it's also beautiful because we are taking in so much that is busy shaping us on the inside without us even realizing.
Your so
And at a later stage, which is evident with you, something beautiful gets birthed out of that. You know, so I love that. I love everything that you've said so far, and just even like listening to your journey, finding relatability in that. You know, especially as a Christian, you know, myself and the journey that I've been on, and even just battling with it time to time, having that community that even just sets you in the right direction. I feel like even that, like when people are like, oh, but you're a Christian, you're not supposed to. Sometimes we tend to take it in like, why are you just boxing me in the, like, I can, but getting your perspective on it being like, it's actually a beautiful thing because people are knowing your identity, they're knowing who you are, and they are helping you grow in that, even if they aren't believers themselves, you know. But it's all, and even, you know, I had a question because when we started off, you were like, it was so healing for you. And I wanted to know, like, how is it healing for you? Like, you know, you you're just studying, like you're doing something you love. And then hearing about your journey and actually putting the puzzles together, I'm like, okay, it makes sense. It is actually healing, you know, for like that younger version of us that was just creative in a different like set of things without like the rules and all of these things and just exploring, and now to actually put wisdom behind it, to put community behind it, to put detail and intention behind it. I actually see how healing it was for you, you know, and to see the beauty that comes out of it. And now you're still striving, you're still doing things. And I kind of just want to end of this episode on like, what would you say to other fashion enthusiasts, like other designers or other like, you know, just young people that are kind of lost and also facing similar battles where it's like, you know, your parents specifically not really supporting you in going in the creative industry. I think I also definitely I also definitely had challenges with that. You know, it was also like no law or something business or something, when in fact I just wanted to do marketing and brand management. Like I love that. That's my passion. I love storytelling, putting brands together, putting things together, and then birthing that and then managing that and growing that, you know, and now I'm able to do that. But yeah, what would your sort of advice be, or what philosophy do you have behind what you've learned since a young age that you can share with other young people who are also struggling with certain things that you've touched on, like that parent battle or even the financial battle, the resource battle, like, you know, yeah, just kind of what would you leave them with? Because I've been lived through so much. I can back it up, go home and be like, guys, I've learned a lot from this conversation, but just like that lost,
Yeah.
that lost stitch of what you can share with us.
Okay. So I'm gonna start like from the back because like I don't want to forget what I want to say.
Yeah.
I really wanted to say like I think one of the biggest things would be the fact that like a lot of the times you're like, oh, there's already so many fashion designers, or there's like, what do I have to offer the fashion world? And
Okay.
um, at least for myself, I was like, oh, what am I gonna do? I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I just want to do this thing. And you feel like they don't need another fashion designer. They don't need another graphic designer, another
No.
person in marketing. They don't need another
Sure.
this and that. But like the real thing is that you are needed. Like you are needed. Like you are like like the world needs you. The
Yeah.
world genuinely does need you. There's so many holes that need to be filled, and you're the only person that can fill that hole. Like I had like this analogy just now of like, you know that thing that they give the babies to play with like the circle and the and
Yeah.
like there's like all of us are different shapes, and you can try and force that triangle into that circle thing, but it's not gonna fit. And there's just enough shapes for each and every single one of those holes. And I think that's such a perfect analogy for us as humans as well. Like that no one is ever going to do what you can do and what you are meant to do in this world. And you are needed. Like if there was ever something that you felt like you wanted to do, but you don't even know how you're going to start doing it or if you even want to do it. And I would say like get up and do it right now because like you are needed in that field.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of how even through heaven, like there'll be times I got so emotional because I just get like messages from people, um, mainly like people in high school, and they'll be like I love your collection so much, and like thank you for sharing what you did share about that. And I was just like, it was one of those moments where I was like, you're like, even you when you tell me like it connects you, I just feel again so healed because it's just like if what I have to say could just even touch one person, then I feel like you're like I filled my gap. And like the fact that it gets to live in someone's mind on its own and you can feel maybe what I felt while creating that
Sure.
means so much. And there's never too many people in a field. Like one random thing is that Cape Town, like someone told me once, like, if you're gonna make an own fashion thing, you have to go to Joburg, you know that. And I was like, okay, great. But then like I sat and I thought about it and I was just like, why must I go to Joburg? Like, there's such a gap here.
Yeah.
If you're telling me I want to go to Joburg, then that means I should be here because there's such a gap. Like, Cape Town has incredibly talented people.
See,
Everyone part of your team is incredible. They all are incredible.
Thank
Like there's so many creatives that have such a deep substance. And it's like, why do you want to run away and go and do it somewhere where there's like 100 millions of others? Yeah, you have your place there as well. But like, why not just build? Yeah. It's like a plain ground. Like you are rich as you get to be in this. Like you're so rich. Like you have this.
Yeah.
Like you can start something. You know what I mean? And like that's the same for all the creators that we have. And I just wish if people were more open to saying yes more often. Like if someone says, hi, do you want to help me with this? Yes. Like that doesn't mean you should necessarily like feel as if like they're pushing you over, they're using you. Like a lot of times you have that like, oh, that person is using me type of thing, but it's not even that. Like imagine if we all work together and I can help you reach your goals and you can help this person reach their goal with this talent that you have. Don't always have to be something whereby it's like, okay, Kupa Mali. Like we all get there, but now we're trying to build each other up. You get what I mean? Having a mindset of like wanting to grow and learn and build with everyone that's around you. I don't know how I got to that. That was not the question. But
it's a beauty. Like I'm loving it.
but like another thing would probably be like genuinely following your heart. Like I feel like most of the times it's something so rebellious in our households. It's like you can't follow your heart. Like you have to
literally
follow your mother and your father's dreams because
they want to live vicariously through you.
Yes, they want to like live through you, and it's not okay because like they had the opportunity to live their lives, which is incredible, and we love our moms and our dads. But now it's time to prove to them that you can make it up to them, like in your own way. and you can give back to them, but in your own way. And you can do all these things that they feel like you'd only get them quicker if you did the route that they wanted you to do. And then like you actually only live once.
Yeah.
You're never gonna live again. You're never gonna have the opportunity to breathe again. Like someone, oh my gosh, sorry, I'm always saying someone say, because I'm listening so much to what people have to say. Like imagine all your days in your life were like laid out in front of you. Like on that board, day one, from the day you were born, all the days are laid out till the day you're no longer going to be on earth. Like how would you choose to spend every single one of those days? Like how would you choose? Like you wouldn't even want one day to go to waste. And it was the same with fashion school. I knew I only had 3 years and I was like, I don't want a single day to go to waste. Like I want to romanticize this as much as possible. Like this is my time to be fully in this moment. I think it's the same with life. Like even when you're trying to your dreams and what you want to be, like live every single day as if you can see it like right there. Like what am I going to do today? Because I have this much time left. Not that it's a ticking time bomb, but it's one of those things. It's like, wow, I can say everything, and like it doesn't look that many because I'm looking at it now. It looks like, oh, if I just one day I only have that many days left, and it's like shouldn't be something scary, but it should be something that is so
exciting. Like you
exciting.
look forward to building your life,
100%, because it's only like life is so hectic. I remember like I said, and I the other day, like I'm turning 22 this year, and there was a moment where I just sat back and I was feeling things and I see things differently now. I see when people are saying things, I'm like, wait, when I was younger, I did not understand that, but now I understand, now I get it. And it's just like I'm like consciously seeing myself grow up and feeling myself grow up. I can actually be like, yo, wait, I'm actually growing up. I understand that now. Last night I was watching Shrek. And I was like, that didn't clock me when I was younger. Like, I was like, wait, no. Like it's vivid. Like it's all coming back to me now. Like I see this now. I get it. I fully get it. I get Shrek's lifestyle. He's such a chill guy. Like he's properly just wanted his own peace. Like he just wanted, and obviously like he found love, blah 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 blah. But like that's not the point. Like I get it now. And that comes with growing up. It's like going back to things and seeing you're like, this is actually so different now. So yeah, like just allowing yourself to be and embracing growth. And even when it comes to finances, your school studying is one of the most expensive things. Like I can go on and ramble about education, but like so expensive. And I don't know what to say on that part, to be so honest with you, but
That's okay.
just trust. Seriously, if I had to tell you how I got into fashion school, guys, I kid you not. Even when I say this, because I still can't get it out of my mind. I remember it was in my second year of fashion school, and my dad is already scraping 100K every year for school. And I got called into the office, and I'm like, why the heck am I being called into the office? And that was when the director of the school was like, hi Luto, how you doing? I'm like, I'm good, how are you doing? And then he's like, well, I wanted to tell you, I want to give you a bursary. I didn't apply for a bursary. I didn't even know my school had bursaries. And he was like, I'm giving you a bursary. I was like, what do you mean by, like, is it the one? Because me and scholarships and bursaries, I never understood exactly what the vibes are there. So I'm like trying to, like, not that I was never interested, just like I don't know the difference. So I'm trying to put 1%. So I'm like, oh, you're giving me like money and then I have to pay it back. Like, it's the vibes. Like, nah, like getting a bursary, like we chosen you for this. And I was like, and I was like, thank you so much. But then I was like, why? Because like I just I didn't fully understand. And then that was also when I just saw God's face vividly. He literally said to me, he was like, because of who you are and how you treat the space. And there was never a time when I spoke to you and you sounded like you didn't want to be here. You shout. And it is your future, obviously. I'm not supposed to take notice of that. Like, we see that. And I was fully over, like, I couldn't believe it. I remember I just cried in the moment. I was like,
Imagine.
what? It didn't seem real at all.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it was like, we sending you back like what you did pay this year so that you can buy yourself like a laptop or whatever. I didn't have a laptop.
Yeah.
Well, I was staying crunch time there using the Windows. Like stuff like that. And I was like, wow, like this is fully God's face. And it made me feel like a child again, as I said earlier on. Like, you know how a father carries his child everywhere. Like, if like the child can't walk, like he's the one who does everything. He's the one that feeds you. You don't have to worry. You can be hungry momentarily, but your dad will never forget to feed you.
Sure.
You know? And I never really got to experience that from my real dad because he wasn't there physically. I've never stayed with my dad, but I got to firsthand feel of like the love of a father through God. And that has truly been so evident throughout my fashion journey. How I just been handed these things, not got privilege.
Yeah.
I came from faith, fully faith. I don't have rich parents who gave me these things. I don't have like, you know, it was always like a faith that till today when I look back, I'm just like, sister, I don't know how you like you just went there and you just thugged it out. But just thugged it out. But like it happened and so fully having faith. And faith doesn't mean that everything is going to be handed to you. Faith just means that in this moment where everything seems like it's not possible, what are you going to do? Or where are you going to look to? Where are your eyes going to look towards, hoping that this would happen? But yeah, like also, it doesn't always look like leaving high school and you're going to jump into school. You know, some people need a break. Like some people need time. You need to think, what is it that you want to do? And it doesn't mean that if you think and you do what you want to do and then that's going to be what you're going to do forever. Like you jump from things to things. Like there's things that you're going to want to do, ambitions you're going to have later on. You're probably going to, God forbid, drop out mid-year. But it's good for people to feel these things and see these things, you know.
Go through that.
And go through the process of growing up because it's so messy. Like growing up is so messy. It's not an easy transition. In fact, what is an easy transition? You know what I mean? It has to be messy. It has to be a bit messy so that there's signs and evidence that there is growth. You know what I mean? If something is clean, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. Like you need a little bit of messiness to see some sort of like, okay, this did happen this time. And like allowing your life to look a little bit messy and not being so perfect. Also, don't like, this is another big thing. Don't look at what someone else is doing and being like
And confused.
and comparing. Like there's a good kind of where you're like looking at someone and you're like, wow, that is amazing. That's me half the time. Like I'm looking at someone and I'm just like, wow, what you're doing is so incredible.
And it inspires you.
It inspires me. But when you look at someone and you have that eye and you're like, you're like they can do that, I can never do that. Or like you probably have like an envious like hard posture and it's like, but you have your own thing. Like I know when you do something it's gonna be so beautiful. So don't look at that and think that is the tip of beauty. Like it's part of something beautiful, but there's levels to this thing, you know. Not levels as in who's better than who, but like
Sorry. But like also part of that I would say is like understanding that you also have your own journey to go through. You know?
that is
So just especially when it comes to social media, but just like realizing and staying in that space or in that, you know, thought place of like, this is someone else's journey. This is how they did what they are doing now. I don't know the full picture of that journey, but this is my journey. Let me embrace it, even if it's painful. And I can attest that it's been a painful journey.
100%.
But even if it's painful, even if it's messy, even if it looks and feels chaotic, but also knowing that my foundation is God, my foundation is grounded, my foundation is optimism, gratitude, joy, love, peace, all of those things, the fruits of the Spirit
100%.
is my grounding place or my safety net. And God is my safety net. And then just going into everything, you know, because it's also, this quote pops up a lot on my phone. but the quote goes, God won't open a door without giving you the resources.
Yeah, 100%. It's just
So,
leave you.
yeah,
Sake you would
like he's not just gonna throw you in something and be like, okay, figure it out.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit when it comes to like small things, being like, okay, this is time where we grow up. This is time where we need to,
Yeah, let's
you
get
know,
what I told you.
yeah, let's, test it out and see how resourceful you're gonna be.
Yeah.
But then it's also knowing for the bigger things, like when it comes to finances or making difficult decisions or creative decisions or that question of like, how am I going to do this? Then just knowing that, let me take it up to God and let me actually seek Him and seek His guidance and seek His wisdom, seek His connections, go to Him and be like, Lord, I need people,
Yeah.
or I need finances, or I need an idea.
That is
And
so true.
presenting it to Him and waiting patiently for Him to drop it in His spirit and to be like, I'm going to do this. Or even just allowing him to do it, allowing him to invade the space. Like even with me, I also was getting rejected from universities for the second time, like
It's not easy.
last year.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy. I was like, I don't want to do another gap year. Like I seriously didn't want to do that because, like I said, the gap year was enough for me to understand where I wanted to go, career wise now specifically. And I made the application, looked at the fees. I was like,
It's kind of shaky.
yeah, I was shocked. I was like, wow, okay, that's fun. But then also, a big part that played in the role of me getting my bursary, getting into red and yellow, getting to study what I wanted was faith and declaring that it's already happening for me. Like I kept everybody asking me, oh, what are you doing? Or what are you going to do next? I was like, oh, I'm studying at red and yellow. Meanwhile, I didn't even send my application in yet.
Yeah.
But it was just like that step, even during the application process, I got asked, oh, what are you doing? Or like, what are you going to do? I was like, red and yellow. I'm studying marketing. I'm studying brand management. And then when it came to waiting on that bursary process, I was even like a bit shaky. I was like, am I even going to get this? Like, is it going to be 50%? Is it going to be like, like, what's it going to be? And I kid you not. And this is a big part of my testimony when it comes to studying. The night before I got an acceptance letter, I was in prayer. And like the entire week, I've been praying also.
Yeah.
But none of the prayers were about me. It was all about like kingdom work and, all of that type of things and just God coming and making impact. Like my prayer was shifted away from my needs onto what are the needs in this world. Like, that type of energy came out of my prayer. But I kid you not, after a whole week of that, the Wednesday, I went back to the place. I mean, I was praying in my bathroom. At that time, it was like the only space that I could have to myself. Praying in the bathroom, and I went quiet after doing like the usual turn of my prayer. And I went quiet and I was like, Lord, I actually dedicate my studies back to you.
That is insane.
Like, I was like that realization of like, not even if you, again, because like I said, I had that mindset of like, I'm already there.
Yeah.
But then I was just like, but I'm actually dedicating this to you. That was the part I left out. And I kid you not, the next day, I got that acceptance letter of like, you've got your full bursary, you can study. And I was just like, it's so crazy to me because I was like, all of that small fears and anxieties and questions of like, how is this going to happen for me? Just realizing, and like from what you've said, that God is a father that will take care of you.
Yeah.
So yes, you can have the anxiety. It's not too bad, but also allow your faith to consume you to a degree where that anxiety and fear doesn't have a place to grow,
That is so.
And so I definitely, like I said, and I hope that this also like allows you to see why I find so much relatability in your story.
100%.
Because it's like, it is scary. It's a hectic environment, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
When you actually just look at what can be birthed, and such a powerful thing you said was, the world has a place for you. That was something I struggled with along my journey was like, do I really need to be here? Like, what's going on? Like, I felt purposeless, if that's even a word. I'm making it one now. But I definitely questioned my place, you know, but just that at the back of your mind that there is a place for you.
Yeah, 100%.
You do have something to contribute to this world. You might not know it right now, but that's okay because it's beautiful. And your story is also very evident of that creative process, but also that identity process. And I see now completely like this conversation just full circled on my main question was like, how is this healing for you?
Yeah.
You know, and now I see through everything that you do, the storytelling, the production, just even how things fall into place. It's like making me excited to even just go up and get to a level where I can be like, like, you know, like these things are happening, but it wasn't out of my own capacity or my own strength, but knowing that there was a higher power, there was the Spirit of God that was leading me through every single thing.
100%. That is insane. Also, just to add like just two more things on for the problem. Like circling back as well to like what you said, advice. First advice would be the fact that, oh my gosh, someone once posted this again, referencing that your life is not a performance for the boy that you like. But then I started taking it in a way of like, wow, your life is actually not a performance for any. Like, your life is genuine. In fact, sometimes you just do something because you want it to be a performance. Like, you want people to think, oh, she's so sick.
Yeah.
Or like you want it to be something that you're gonna look at you and be like, wow. And I can testify that I have been in this decision before. Like, to post something because you're like, okay, that's gonna grab that one's attention or this and this and that. And it's just simply like your life is not a performance
Yeah.
at all. It's beyond, it's like way beyond any form of performance. And another thing would be the fact that there are many of you and you're gonna find them. And that is simply that there's many people who have visions and aspirations close, similar to what you may have. And you're gonna find those people. You're gonna find your long-term people, your friends. You're gonna find yours, like your friends, soulmates. Like, you're gonna find those people who are just like you. And I think when you find them, it's so important to give glory
To God.
to God. And yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
That's so, so beautiful. Honestly, there's a lot that I can take away from. I'm so grateful that you have just given your time to be on this podcast.
Okay, I wasn't doing it.
But no, like genuinely, I also see again how this was just spiritual as well. Like for me, I can take so much away. I hope that it's the same for the listeners out there. Can take so much away. And your story is beautiful. It's been an honor to have you and to build this friendship as well. And so, yeah, that is the end of this episode. Thank you so much. I feel like we need to do part two sometime.
One day.
Like one day we need to do part two and definitely catch up. But thank you so, so much
Thank you for
for
having
being on the
me.
podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you guys for listening. We will catch you at the table in the next episode.